fucked up land. We've had enough of the lies and deceit. We're done for good with the toxicity. All hail Fangs, we are the Rabyd Nation. All hail Fangs, we are the Rabyd Nation. All hail Fangs, we are the Rabyd Nation. We are the Rabyd Nation.
All right, and a hearty shout out to all of you in the Rabyd Nation, whether you are a paid citizen or somebody's paid for your citizenship, as the case may be, whether you're a tourist or whether you're just looking across the border, wondering whether to visit or immigrate to such a wonderful land as the Rabyd Nation. Welcome, one and all. I'm your host, Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now a compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Rabyd Atheist Show. And the Friday night reaction night is tonight. So, we're going to be looking at a little clip from Apologia's latest video, but Shannon Q was kind enough to clip out her part because that's what I really wanted to talk about in that video. But we'll get to that all in a minute. Just a couple announcements. There's of course a Discord link in the description. You can always join the Fluffle of Fangs. I always want to put that out there. The Fluffle is growing almost every day, it seems at times. And I think we had voting for a new movie night. So if you're interested in a group of people that try to have fun together and enjoy life a bit together, you're more than welcome. So also, there is a goal in chat. As always, I keep my streams ad-free as long as I get some donations to supplement my work as a crusader for something, I guess, for deconversion and clearing up the misinformation about atheism and stuff. So thanks for that low-key way of asking for money. I will wear whatever hat is chosen by the poll at the end, at that point, if the super chat goal is made. Let's see. Boy, people are calling. I was worried tonight because I had some pretty stiff competition running tonight. Kip Davis had Apologia and CJ and Vishanti all on tonight talking about Inspiring Philosophy's reaction to him, to Apologia. So it was, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. So there we go. Well, let's see who's here. Let's see. Fred was here early. Good to see you, Fred. I know during the week you can't be here and you show up, you're here, but you're not here. So appreciate you coming by. Blossom's here. Let's see. Wolf is here. Elizabeth is here. Felicia is here. I was talking about you the other day, Felicia, because I had a pre-supper, and I think I mentioned your one video about presuppositional apologetics is stupid, and I'm tired of pretending it's not, kind of thing. And yeah, we had a pre-supper on those days. So I was thinking of you. Let's see, Dragon Rider is here. Robin is here. Good to see you, Robin. Paul is here. Jackie is here. Michael is here. The lovely, wonderful lap in which our Lord naps. I Killed Earl is here as well. I think we got her. Oh, Decibel's here, and thanks, Decibel. Appreciate it. That's one. So there you go. I think that's it. All right. What I'm doing tonight, Apologia had a video this week where he took on Wes Huff, and I watched the whole thing and everything. I had a different video that I was going to react to tonight, but then Shannon Q talked about something that resonated with me so much. As a former Pentecostal minister, as somebody who used to deal with miracle claims all the time when I was a Pentecostal minister, and kind of since I've left the faith, one of my real strong pet peeves is when people make miracle claims and they're not. Okay. And so I was so glad that Shannon clipped out her part and put it on her own channel, because I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to edit that. I just, but yes. So I went over there and I said, I grabbed what her part was. Now I'll say this about Apologia's video about Wes Huff. I'm not sure I would, as far as the counter apologetics, I would do much different. Like he covered all the bases that I would have covered. He went after everything that I would have covered. I think he brought up all the academic objections to a lot of things that Wes Huff said in that interview very, very well. I'm not sure I could have added that much anyway, other than to say a few other things that, but this issue that Shannon brought up is much more close to my heart. It's much more close to my deconversion from Pentecostalism. One of the things that bothered me was people's miracle claims, and then they wouldn't be able to back it up. Like that's kind of was my thing, and it's been my thing ever since. So I'm gonna get her the thing she posted to her channel up, and it's pretty much her part in that video, because that's what I really want to talk about, because it bothers me. it bothers me a lot. And we're going to ask the question, and all night long, is Shannon Q being too nice to Wes Huff? I know Shannon's like nice to everybody. She really is. And so, but I want to ask the question, is she being too nice? This is a way of getting a discussion starter, but I have now darker thoughts about Wes Huff than I used to. Like I used to think, oh, here we go, another apologist that's just giving same old dumb arguments, because that's kind of what he does. He just looks good. He's the golden boy these days. So there we go. So there we go. I'm going to put this up. Here, let me get this back to 0. Let's let's pause it. Get it back to 0. Get the volume back on. And we'll do this. There's not a lot of visuals in this one that are important, so we'll run it this way, and we'll watch it. This is Shannon Q and her part in Apologia's recent video, and I want to talk about Wes Huff's miracle claim. Let's talk about that.
So sorry to interrupt the F-tier apologetics masquerading as scholarship, but something is about to happen that I'm fairly sure that I am uniquely positioned to speak to. Okay,
I absolutely love that. I don't know about the Huff and Puff. Okay. I love the fact that she started out her part with, I'm sorry to interrupt the F-tier apologetics, because it really at that point in the video was like, yes, this is really bad apologetics. The real problem I have with Wes Huff and his apologetics is he seems to have a very large platform. Everybody kind of, like, even in this thing, he's like being proclaimed as Christian's #1 scholar. And I'm thinking, I can think of about 10 other scholars that might earn that title before Wes Huff. But it's all about perception. It's all about, like I've said it before, apologists make their bones on a manufactured authority. And I got this from Rationality Rules because he made this observation. I agree with it. They make their bones on a manufactured authority, and they also speak with a great deal of confidence. And so Wes Huff, I think, is more popular because of his confidence and because he seems to have this authority, like he knows something. The problem is what he knows is right down there with all the rest of apologetics throughout the centuries, which is not very good. So, yeah, so there we go. And so she comes in, and I really like the way she came in there with the F-tier apologetics quip. So she's like, I'm uniquely qualified to be in this position to talk about another issue at this point. And I think that was good for her. So, yeah, you got to understand Elizabeth, there's not a lot of difference in the way, if you look at how a church is organized and look how the mafia is organized and look how the Catholic Church is organized, there's not a lot of difference. So, yeah, it's, remember, they speak a lot. What is insidious here is Wes in particular is going to add what I would call a third branch to that. It's not just about his manufactured authority, his almost PhD, kind of thing. And it's not just about his confidence, his good looks, his charm, whatever it is. He adds a third tier with this miracle claim, which is, I would call, emotional connection. Like he adds an emotional element to his apologetics with this claim, and that's why it bothers me so much. So, but we'll let Shannon continue.
I was looking at some of these photos of you as a young man. I wondered how much the situation in these photos had an impact on who you came to be and what you came to believe.
Yep.
But this is a young boy in a wheelchair.
Yep.
And in a hospital bed that looks to be paralyzed.
Yep.
I want to preface this by saying that's awful. I feel horrible that Wes and his family had to contend with this when he was young. That's scary and it's unfair, and I am genuinely happy and relieved that he was able to have a full and complete recovery, and I mean that unambiguously.
Yeah, when I was 11 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare neurological condition that left me paralyzed from the waist down.
So at 10, you were fine, you were normal?
Yeah.
And at 11, suddenly you were paralyzed from the waist down?
Yes, so I had the flu, and my body's immune system, instead of attacking the flu, attacked the nerve endings at the base of my spinal cord, so the myelin sheath, and caused inflammation, cutting off the communication from my brain to my legs.
And a lot of people that get that disease never walk again.
It's complicated.
Okay, I got to stop there. Damn right it's complicated. This is one of the the keys in the interview where I think Wes knows that this medical condition isn't as serious as he's making it out to. He's trying to keep it serious. And this is why I'm saying that maybe Shannon Q is a little too nice. That little statement, now maybe I'm making too much of it, but by him saying it's complicated, it seems like he knows that a lot of people recover from this. Like the guy's asking me, this is a super serious condition? And he's like, it's complicated. And it's like, what that means is sometimes it can be super serious and sometimes it can't be. Like it happens. Like when I came out of the Pentecostal church, one of the things I looked up, and the internet was starting to come into its own when I left the Pentecostal church, and it was starting, you could research a lot more medical stuff and things like that. And I started to look at medical conditions because I come out of a church tradition where people get prayed for. You come up front, you do with the James thing, and you anoint them with oil and pray for them, for the sick, and the prayer of a faithful person will make them well. And so I come out of that kind of tradition, and so there's always these people claiming to be healed. And so one of the things I did after I got out of the Pentecostal church, and I was kind of in between being that and a congregational pastor, is I started to research medical conditions that can have very serious but temporary effects. And the one they're talking about is one of those. Like you can have these medical conditions that temporarily affect you in very serious manners. And doctors know that. But this is one of the first things where I'm like, he said it's complicated. He doesn't say, yes, it's a very serious medical condition. He doesn't say that. He says it's complicated. That tells me that Wes has actually done some research into his medical condition, and he knows at his age, one of the very likely scenarios is that he is going to recover. Okay, like he's like, your immune system attacks your nervous system for a while and says, nope, we did the wrong thing here, and they fix it. Okay. It happens. Okay. And Shannon Q is going to go into the details on that. I'm going to let her do that because she's actually experienced this. So I've never experienced it, but what I did experience in the Pentecostal church is a lot of people making these medical claims. And then later on, when I looked them up later, when I had access to more information, this is what's kind of killing the miracle thing, particularly with healing, is a lot of the people I prayed for, I now look back and I think, they might have had some of these temporary medical conditions that were going to go away and clear themselves over time, but they had very serious symptoms. Okay, so it's kind of one of that, it's just one of those things like you suddenly realize, oh, these people thought this was super serious, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't. And it's not just the situation they're going to describe here, which I'm going to let play in a little bit, but it's like there's a lot of medical conditions that have very serious symptoms. but they're temporary. And everybody knows that the person's going to recover if they're given enough time in the right situation. So, yeah. So there you go. But, but also, is there a loving God? Why the F did he do this to you? And why are you defending him? Yes. Like that's, the problem of evil question comes up. I find Wes's response to the problem of evil kind of weak sauce. He's always had weak sauce answers. I had my own personal miracle, so God must be real and human psychic could not explain anything. Yes. On the one hand, I could say she's too nice. On the other hand, she handled it better than I could. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm adding my thing here of I think she's giving Wes the benefit of the doubt, and I don't think she should have. Based on this little statement, it's complicated. And it's like, no, dude, he asked you a question of whether it's a serious medical condition or not. It either is or isn't. And if you say it's complicated, you're evading the answer. Like what you know is like sometimes it's a serious medical condition and sometimes it's not. Okay. Like sometimes people just recover. And it's horrible that he went through it. It's horrible his family went through it. I absolutely can feel like Shannon Q. I have a lot of empathy there. Like I had my own child in the hospital once. We went down to Children's Hospital down in Grand Rapids, DeVos, and I had my kid there when he was 4 years old. And, it's an awful, horrible, terrible feeling. Okay. And I absolutely can feel for Wes on that. But the moment you start using this as a miracle claim, I got a problem. Okay. Because I have a problem. I mean, yeah, as a kid, I can see that. But he's still making this claim as a miracle when he should know better, Decibel. Like anybody, and welcome, but anybody can look this medical condition up now, knows that in a lot of cases, people recover from it completely. And he should know that. Like he was 10, 11 back then, but he's 35 now. And the internet's gotten way too big not to know that this is not as serious as he's making it out to be. Like I empathize with him, but I'm not going to be there and say, okay, dude, you don't have an excuse now to not know that a lot of people recover from this. Like you just don't have that excuse anymore. So
it's called acute transverse myelitis. Although I've been told recently that there's a change in the name of the diagnosis. But essentially, transverse myelitis is not all that rare, but acute in terms of the quickness of it, I had fallen asleep, a nap, for probably no more than 30 minutes. And when I woke up, I was paralyzed.
So this is where I'm in a very unique position, one that many people aren't in, and thank goodness more people aren't. When I was in my mid-20s, I was at a friend's home, and suddenly, out of nowhere, I had a horrible pain in my chest and back. My vision started to blur, and my arms went numb. I tried to pour a glass of water, but I couldn't hold the pitcher effectively, and when I could, using both of my hands, I wasn't able to locate my arms in space to center it over the glass to pour the water. This progressed to my arms being entirely numb, but still moderately mobile within a few hours, and subsequently rendered my hands and my fingers useless for almost a full month. My family doctor referred me to a neurologist, and I had a series of tests and MRIs. These tests resulted in me receiving a diagnosis of transverse myelitis, just like Wes had. I had active lesions on my T1 and T2, as well as my C4 and C5 spinal column. It was horrible. It was terrifying, and it happened so quickly, it was difficult to contend with how rapidly my body could change.
So it was the quickness of the actual damage that was done to my spinal cord that was the catalyst for, in the diagnosis, saying that the chances of me walking again were very low.
But within a...
Okay. Yeah, Elizabeth, I've actually had Shannon on one of my streams once, and we talked a little bit about, she's autistic too. She's got a few other things too, but yeah, she's gone through a lot, and she is very uniquely to talk about this. But I want to stop there at that point, because notice what Wes said. He said the chances were pretty good that I would never walk again. he knows now, if he's studied any kind of this disease, he knows that that statement is absolute BS. Like, I don't, and I'm kind of questioning whether the doctors would have told him that, because I think it would be very irresponsible of a medical professional not to be honest about your medical condition. But yeah, Shannon has some serious issues, but it does make her very uniquely qualified to talk about this. And I just don't. My problem here with him saying it that way is like, no, you're overemphasizing the danger that you were in. Okay, like you're overselling it. Like, this is salesman oversells ship. This is the problem I had. And I think he's overselling it. Like, he's on the thinking, well, it's complicated. But then he comes out with this statement like, yes, it was really very possible I would never walk again. And it's like, no, it's also very possible that you would. Okay, like, and what we know, like, it's this. This is why I think she's being I love Shannon Q for this reason, because she does tend to give people a lot of the benefit of the doubt. She steelmans really well. But at the same time, like, I'm looking at all the cues, I'm listening to what this guy is saying. And as a guy who used to listen to bullshit all the time as a pastor with people talking about their miracle claims, I'm hearing the same kind of language, especially when we had preachers to do revivals that were doing healing services. Like, I had to deal with Benny Hinn when I was a minister all the time, because they would talk about Benny Hinn's healing service. I'm like, do you have any documentation on this? And what are they actually getting healing from? Like, it's like, what are they getting healed of? And the problem with Wes Huff here is he's overselling how dangerous his illness was. And he should know that by now. Like, if he's looked up his illness, he even indicates like he knows it's had its name changed. So he knows that much about it. So he must be looking it up. He would know now that to make the claim that it was very likely that he would never walk again is a false claim. Like, it's like, no, they wouldn't have told you that. Okay. And I'm suspicious. Okay. I'm suspicious of Wes Huff now for this very reason, because what this story does is it creates this emotional connection. Like, Wes can now emotionally connect with people in the audience. And so they're less likely to be skeptical of him because they have this sympathy for him. The problem with miracle claims with preachers is when they have their own miracle story about how God saved them and they cry in tears and all this other stuff, the people in the audience resonate with that. Like, I'm a former preacher. I preached so many sermons I've lost count. If I could get them to emotionally connect with me because I had a similar story with them, that makes it less likely for them to challenge what I'm saying. So Wes Huff not only has this manufactured authority, he not only has this great confidence, this good look, he's like the apologetics golden boy to a lot of them. As Paul pointed out in this video, there's a lot of sycophants behind Wes Huff. But now because of this miracle story, he's created this emotional connection where people are less likely, because they emotionally like them and they emotionally sympathize with him. They're not going to challenge him. They're not likely to challenge him as much. Okay, so that's kind of this. So it's not it really is kind of a bad thing to me at this point. Like, I am having, yes, Benny Hinn. Like, I had to deal with Benny Hinn a lot when I was a Pentecostal pastor, because he was very popular at the time. And there was all these miracle claims. And I'm like, do we actually have documentation on that? Because even as a Pentecostal, I was like, I wanted a confirmed miracle. Like, you're always looking for the confirmed miracle. And I always ended up getting disappointed. So, yeah. So, you wanted to know, is a rare neuron that is caused by inflammation. Yeah, it's like it does that. It interrupts the signals between your spinal cord and the rest of the body. So that's kind of the way it works. What Wes is saying is, like, it could have become permanent. And it's like, based on what I've read and what Shannon Q is about to say, yeah, I know. Like I said earlier, I had stiff competition because Inspiring Philosophy is being reviewed by Apologia and a few others. So If you're listening to both at the same time, I completely understand. But my issue with this is very personal. As you well know, Robert, like coming out of the Pentecostal background, miracle claims are a dime a dozen. And Wes Huff, I did not realize until Paul did this and Shannon Q did this week, that Wes Huff has this emotional miracle story claim that kind of, I'm now beginning to understand why he can overcome some emotional barriers, because everybody's feeling sympathetic towards him because he had this horrible condition. He could have lost his ability to walk. And you and I both know when preachers had that sob story, or somebody got up and did a testimony with that sob story, it was very hard to be skeptical because you just resonate with the hurt of it. So yeah, I get it. So there you go. Let's see. Thanks, Fred. This sense of memory is quite prone to inaccuracy. Wes maybe subconsciously even have chosen the version of the story. Yes, and I think it's best fitting as indoctrination, but it's also, Fred, deucedly convenient at this point in this interview, because now the interviewer, you can see it, like the interviewer is like making this emotional connection with Wes. And it becomes really, really hard once you made an emotional connection with somebody to start to be skeptical of what they say. Like it's hard. Okay. So you can be skeptical, but you have to train yourself to do that, like to put the emotions aside. So doctors, other ex-wife fields say, even when they're being genuine, it seems like they often misunderstand colloquialism. Yes. I don't know. This is one of those that I kind of got mad about when I'm like, oh, Wes, I didn't realize that you did the miracle claim. So, yeah, the sob story is the easy passive apologetics. Well stated. Like what it does is it causes people to like overlook the fact that you might be spewing bullshit. Like that's why con artists have the sob story. A con artist always comes in with a sob story because, oh, I need money because of this, because all this terrible tragedy happened to me. And you start to empathize with them. And if they're a really good actor, they can do that. Well, then all of a sudden you're not being as skeptical about what's going on. And that's what happens. And this is what Wes is doing. Like the other thing about it is Wes must have either provided these pictures or there's a way to get a hold of these pictures. I didn't really look that part up, so I'll be honest, but it might be on his website. Like this is a significant event in his life that kind of turned him to apologetics. And so the host just has to look it up and find it, or he provided it to the host about it. Either way, he's still using this story to gin up his emotional connection to people and the truth claims. But the problem is, as Shannon's going to point out, this isn't as serious as you think. Like it's not a miracle that he recovered. Yeah, so Kyle's here. Welcome, guys. Ron is here. Saw you. But yeah, all right. That's all been good. Yeah.
Month you were walking again.
Yeah, 1 month to the day. So, in fact, the 23-year anniversary was recently because it was in February 8th. I woke up on a Saturday morning, got out of bed, and walked over to my wheelchair.
So Wes was right earlier. There was a change in the diagnostic label. It's now called idiopathic transverse myelitis when the onset happens quickly in childhood or even adulthood, but is likely the result of the immune system inappropriately responding to something like a viral infection. And this is kind of what I want to talk more about. I'm not just uniquely positioned to speak to this because I have transverse myelitis. I also have a degree in psychology with a focus on neuroscience. Incidentally, I know a lot about not only navigating and contending with a specific neurological condition, but also its impacts neurologically. I want to take a few minutes to speak about those now, so just bear with me. I will try to be quick. I'm not known for my brevity, but I'll do my best. So to begin, I think we need to know.
I have to stop there. That's true. She is not known for her brevity.
A little bit more about what transverse myelitis actually is. Transverse myelitis occurs when the immune system attacks the myelin sheath of a person's spinal cord specifically. You can think of the myelin sheath as the insulation that surrounds the neurons of the spinal cord itself. It's similar to the cord that's wrapped around electrical wires. If you remove or damage that protective covering, then the electricity being transmitted through that cord may not be able to reach its destination to power whatever it's supposed to. That electricity may also spill out into areas it's not intended for, causing negative impacts as a result. It's the same with the spinal cord. Each section functionally powers a different area of the body by sending signals from the brain to that area via the spinal cord. In my case, because the damage caused by my autoimmune system attack was higher in my spine, it impacted my arms, among other things. And for Wes, because the damage was significantly lower, it impacted his legs. But in the same way that that electrical cord can be fixed, because you can patch the cord to correct the flow of that electrical current, your immune system, when it's working the way it's supposed to, builds scar tissue over the area it once accidentally destroyed, allowing it to hopefully work the way it was supposed to begin with. That doesn't happen in all cases because it leaves scar tissue. The fix may not be perfect, but when you're younger, it's more apt to be a better result, a better outcome. So that's what transverse myelitis is, but why am I here? Aside from sharing this experience with Wes to a certain degree, why do I care about chiming in this specific instance? Well, I do for a couple of different reasons. The first being that I've heard Wes present this as a miracle on multiple occasions. To be fair, by his lights, maybe that's how he sees it, and that's fine. I can't take issue with that. That's between him and his belief system, and that's none of my concern. But how it's presented as a diagnosis and its subsequent prognosis is absolutely my concern, and it should be everyone else's as well. It seems like from what Wes is saying that he had doctors tell him he was potentially or probably going to be paralyzed for life. If you did, that's horrible and it's vastly inaccurate. In cases of idiopathic transverse,
I want to stop right there. She says that's vastly inaccurate. And that was vastly inaccurate back in the day, too, when he got the diagnosis. Okay. They knew that a lot of people recovered from this. Okay. This is the other part of the story that he tells that's a little bit unbelievable to me. If that's what the doctors were telling him, I have a hard time believing that. Okay. I'm not saying they didn't do it, but I have a hard time that a medical professional wouldn't sit down in a serious situation like this, especially with a child. Like every time I dealt with my children in the hospital, the doctors always took the time to explain everything to me because they know there's such an emotional thing with your child. So I find a hard time believing that they told him like there was a really good chance that he would never walk again, even back then. Like I have a hard time believing that. So I've got this, well, it's complicated. And then we got, well, yeah, I might not have ever walking again. And now I've got this medical doctor telling a kid that you may never walk again. And Shannon Q is right. You know, you want to believe it's a miracle, that's fine. The problem is you're telling this story in such a way that you're continuing to maintain this idea that this is a miracle. And I used to see this in the Pentecostal church all the time, where even when you had another explanation for the supposed miracle, people would still maintain the miracle story. Now, there's probably a good chance that there's good psychological reasons of why people do that. You know, there's good religious reasons why people do that. You know, growing up in the church, I understand how people want to cling to stuff emotionally because it gives them anchors to their faith. It gives them that emotional anchor to their faith. And I think this is what may have happened with Wes as well. But at this point, I don't think, if that's what he remembers the doctors saying, I'm questioning his memory because he's either misrepresenting what the doctors told him or he doesn't remember it correctly. I'd like to be like Shannon and say maybe he's not remembering it correctly. But I've done enough hospital visits where bad news was given as a pastor. I find it very unlikely that most doctors try to give the patient hope. And so I think the doctor would have emphasized, you know, a lot of people recover from this. I think that's what would have happened. And so I'm kind of like, at this point, I'm like, Wes, are you maintaining this story because of an emotional thing you need to keep your faith? Or are you maintaining this story because it gives you this emotional connection with your audience that's listening to your apologetics? Like, it's like, and I agree, Robert. I don't think he got told anything. They told the parents. And so the parents may have set some really low expectations for his recovery. Maybe that's the problem. But in any case, like the fact that he's now as an adult taking what he knows is not necessarily true and continuing to prop it up, I got a problem with that. I have a real problem with that, because coming out of the Pentecostal background, I look at this as something that is very potentially dangerous. Like, you're creating this emotional connection with your audience and they're not really thinking about what you're saying. And that's a problem. I get it. I get it. I get it, Felicia. I do. Yeah, I would go for that too. Like, I think he's not remembering it right, but at the same time, he's still using the story to prop up who he is and developing something. And smoke to be able to know and gin up his person. Yes, and that's the thing. That a lot of these apologists, we have to remember, how many of these apologists have we seen that gin up their personal story in order to sell their stuff? And I think that this is one of those things where it's a lot less than Wes is actually saying, and Wes is trying to go overboard with it. And I think that's my problem. This is why I'm a little bit more sus, because one, he starts at, well, it's complicated, which tells me he's researched this. He also knew that they had changed the name. And so he's been researching his disease that he had. So he knows damn well that a lot of people recover from it. And he can't really sell this as a miracle story, because the human body does this stuff to itself. And so he can't really do that. No. Yeah, he'll use it to save souls. Yeah, I mean, lying for Jesus is, if you get the right end results, it's always goes. So there you go. There you go. Well, I don't know. I mean, you're paralyzed from the waist down. How do you sell, saving souls? Like, if you're not walking on your feet anymore, like, I don't know how you do that. But there you go.
Myelitis, especially in cases in children and due to viral onset, the prognosis is generally pretty good. There's, of course, a spectrum, but there's absolutely a high chance and a probable chance of partial or complete recovery. It usually takes place within a couple of weeks to a couple of months, and in all cases of transverse myelitis, the initial onset is subdued over a relatively quick period of time. This happens once the immune system calms down and starts to act the way that it should. It gets to work repairing the damage that itself caused. There are, of course, I'm not negating it, cases where the damage is more permanent, even with idiopathic transverse myelitis, which is the one-time transverse myelitis attack. In some instances, there are lasting impacts, but for a doctor to tell a child that they're likely to be paralyzed forever and that they can't explain why a recovery occurred at all or this quickly is negligent to an exceptionally high degree. And if that...
Yeah, that's the real part of the story I'm having problem believing. Like, this would indeed be a massive amount of negligence on the part of the medical professionals, if that's what the diagnosis was and what they told them. I don't buy it. Like, that's the part I'm not buying. I think they talked to the parents. The parents either picked up on this, my kid's never going to walk again, and they got focused on that. But they also forgot, like, the doctor says, hey, the progress is pretty good, that he's going to recover. And, like, no miracle required. So, yeah, like, or you could believe the cynical option that his parents told him an over-dramatized version to gain sympathy among their fellow. That, that's also another possibility. Like, you go to your church, like, a lot of people go to church, and when they have these crisis moments, it's a real attention getter. Like, I used to see that in church all the time as a pastor, where people were having this crisis, and so they would use it as an attention getter to get people's attention. And so they picked the worst part of the diagnosis, told that to the church so the church would pray for them. Okay, I don't know what kind of church he went to, but apparently they believed in miracles. And so then you turn around and later on you use this story to kind of manipulate your audience emotionally to receiving what you have to say a little bit. I experienced a miracle. Like, what better experience apologetics could you have than saying, I've experienced a miracle? The problem is, this isn't really a miracle. Like, it's not. Okay. And yes, if I'm getting really cynical, like, yeah, I could think that way. Like, this has been ginned up since the word go. So I don't know what else to do, but yeah, I get what you're saying there, Earl. Yeah, Josh. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Oh, we're up to 3. All right. And who's winning? Which hat is winning? The Holy Bunny hat is winning. Oh, all right. Barely, but winning. All right. Well, let's continue on.
Was what he was told. I am sorry that they did that to you. That is not fair, and it should never have happened. That's not how a medical professional should act, especially given the massive amount of literature on this condition and its recovery times. And perhaps that informs your perception, Wes, and perhaps that's why you speak of it as though that's the only explanation for your recovery or your rapid recovery, as opposed to it being one of the potential and possibly even most likely outcomes for your version of the condition. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I am exceedingly glad, very happy that your transverse myelitis attack was when you were young and it was triggered by a viral event, and as a result that you had a rapid and complete recovery. But that's not the case for me. It's also not the case for other people like me. My transverse myelitis onset happened really quickly too. It was all of a sudden, and it was while I was awake. I could feel it taking my body away from me consciously. I did recover to a certain degree in the expected timeline. That's what generally happens with transverse myelitis. There's a rapid onset with really high degree of symptoms, and then that abates over the course of 3 weeks to 6 months, but I never recovered completely. The reason for that is partially because I wasn't young. What tends to happen in children with idiopathic transverse myelitis, your autoimmune system making a one-time mistake, it could course correct quickly and allow your young body to recover. It instead was the first sign that my autoimmune system was having a fire sale. It didn't stop.
Yeah, I do feel for Shannon in this one. There's a lot of things that went more wrong with her than Wes. But yeah, Robert, I'm kind of with you there. Like, the parents lied to him and messed him up, and now he's a Christian. That's a tale all this time. Let's see. Never mind that Wes uses his not yet established already to promote. Like, he promotes the fact that he's almost a doctor. He's almost a PhD. That's his promotion. Almost a doctor. Yeah, there's the problem with him is, like, there's a lot of bad reasoning that Apologia pointed out in his video with his apologetics, which is why Shannon Q comes in with I hate to interrupt the F tier apologetics here, because it was like, I'm listening to the guy and I'm like, this is old stuff. Like, so. Yeah. And I could yell at God if the non-existent God, like, this is one of those medical conditions, like, it just strikes out of the blue, it seems, and it hurts people. Yeah, well, it doesn't mean you're actually a doctor, no. but yeah, like, I feel bad for Shannon, because I remember when I did talk with her the one time, she did talk about some of the stuff that was off with her medically, and this is one of the things she mentioned. But, like, she has a lot of stuff that she overcomes fairly regularly, and I applaud her for that. So, but yeah, she's, like, really giving Wes here the benefit of the doubt. And my former Pentecostal pastor brain is red flagging alarm bells right now at this point with Wes, because I don't buy the notion that the medical professionals, even back then, knowing what they knew then about this condition, would have told him he was never going to walk again. I don't think that happened. Yeah, he under student Dr. Wes. Yeah, he's supposedly working on his PhD, but he never seems to quite finish it, which makes me wonder. So yeah, she's being way generous, I think. And that's endearing, and I applaud Shannon Q. That's kind of why I think a lot of people like her, is she does try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. She's a very good, what I would call a very good human being, and trying to treat other people like human beings. And so I can applaud her for that. But my skeptical brain is going off right now, because I am not buying that the medical professionals that handled Wes's case told him he would never walk again. I'm not really buying that. And I think that's something his parents may have told him. Maybe somebody made that up, or he's more insidious than I think. Felicia's right. Okay. Like there's something about this guy that bothers me. Now, can I put my finger on it? Do I have evidence for it? No. But there's something about Wes Huff that bothers me. And I'm just waiting. Okay. I'm just waiting. So, and his parents could have used that to manipulate Wes to behave in certain ways. Yep. Yep. Very valid point, Earl. So, well, thanks, Felicia. Oh my God. Not doing anything wrong. She's remaining professional, academic, whereas people like us who have burned through jump to screw this guy. Yeah, and I get it. And she's a good professional. I try to be professional. I really do try to get, like, when I first was introduced to Wes, I really tried to give him okay, here's a very nice, sincere young man who's just straight up wrong. Okay, like maybe he's one of those, but the more I listen to what he has to say, and this story in particular, like I was on the fence about him a week ago about whether he was one of those honest apologists where he sincerely believed, or he was just bullshitting. After this, I'm leaning more towards the bullshitting, because he should have been confronted about this thing a long time ago, and it probably has been. Maybe privately or by somebody else, like, dude, this medical condition you had isn't all that bad. Like, the fact that you recovered from it is probably more likely than you would have been paralyzed for life. Like, and somebody has had to have said that to him. But he's still maintaining the story. And that bothers the hell out of me. As somebody who used to be a minister who watched this kind of con artistry all the time, like I should go, like revival healing meetings in the Pentecostal church are very interesting, because you have all these people that you never, like, we'll have this famous you have this semi-famous evangelist come to town, and they're doing a healing revival crusade or whatever. And I walk into the church on those evenings, and there's like 4 or 5 times the normal that I get on a Sunday morning. Okay. And you have all these people being prayed for by this guy. He preaches, he gets everybody rah-rah, gets everybody emotional. And then he has his own miracle story. And the big key is they always take an offering. And I never had one of those evangelists come to me and not walk away with like lots of money. Like if they could work the crowd right and do it. And that bothers me. So when an apologist who's supposedly respectable and the number one Christian whatever has this miracle claim part of their shtick, it pisses me off. Okay, because there's something odd about that. There's something snake oil about that. So, but yeah, so. And my expectations were because it was scary for me, and I lack emotional intelligence, to try to say without being an absolute dipshit. Yeah, like I am at that point. I'm with you. Like I feel like he's more of a grifter now. Like I used to think like maybe sincere apologist, but very wrong. But the more I've gotten to know how he does things, I'm starting to lean towards grifter. I really am. Like, is he another grifter? So. So yes, but at this point, I'm kind of there. I lean towards BS. Born and raised New Yorker. Yeah, you kind of have to be there. You kind of learn that at 5, right? In New York City, in New York. Yeah. 2 days ago, he talks about Wes and Zach. Okay. Yeah, that's another good one. I hadn't watched that one yet. So, No Magical Place. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's the grifter backstory outline. Yep, standard stuff. Yep, I agree with you. And welcome, by the way. Oh my goodness, but yes, but she's going into this explanation, and I thought it was well done. She does a very good job of explaining like how this can be a temporary thing, and the fact that Wes is still hanging on to it as a miracle is disturbing to the
Off with
high
my spinal
degree.
cord. It moved to my brain too. It progressed into becoming multiple sclerosis, and it's incurable in people like me. I now take monthly injections to suppress my own immune system to try to keep it at bay so I can have even just a little bit longer using my arms, seeing properly, standing and walking effectively. The list goes on and on and on. I'll even
Yeah, it's kind of scary what Shannon is facing. Like she has to suppress her own immune system to prevent this from happening again. And my heart goes out to her. Like I can feel that. Like it's got to be scary living with the fact that at any moment you could suddenly lose some part of your body function and not get it back. Like I would absolutely I would absolutely say that that's something that just my heart goes out to her for that. So I don't know what the percentage recovery rate for the condition is. So, but I do know that that it's a lot better than Wes is making out of. Like I think Shannon has made that very clear. Like this is something, especially when you're a child, this is something you're going to recover from. And it looks like we met the goal. So thanks everybody. And it looks like it's the Holy Bunny hat. I have to be very careful now. Anything I say about fangs would become dogma, so I've got to be very, very careful. So, it's but yeah, if you watch her when she broadcasts live, she's kind of, you can tell that things aren't always perfect with her. So there you go. There you go. There you go. What are the chances of people getting it's not as high as Wes is making out. I know that much. I remember looking it up once. I'm sure somebody could definitely look that up and see what the recovery rate is. But I bet you it's age specific. Like if you're younger, the chances of you recovering are very high. Like that's what Shannon Q kind of indicated, which what she said is like, if you're young, the chance of recovery is pretty good. It's when you get older that it becomes hard. So yeah, it was a bad one. That's okay. I treated it as real. I treated I treated it so bad. But here's the thing though, Skeptic, what you do bring up a good point for Shannon. Like, we're not going to give Shannon thoughts and prayers. That's not going to do her any good. Okay. But I do absolutely feel for her. Like I can't imagine living with that kind of thing. I don't have that condition, and so I can't imagine living that way. So there you go. There you go. But yeah, she's I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I feel for her. I do. When I had her on, she had broken her arm playing soccer or something. That's what Apologia told me. So Paul did. So and so she was hurting from that and taking painkillers and all that other stuff. So but she tries to stay active, and I think part of that is defensiveness. So yeah, so there you go. All right, let's see where we're going with this, because I have some interesting observations.
can go one step further. I know how terrifying it is. I'm even jealous. I wish that all transverse myelitis was idiopathic, that it didn't reoccur, that it wasn't the sign of something systemic wrong with your autoimmune system in your body. I wish no one ever had to experience it at all, because I know how scary it is. But regardless of what a doctor told you in childhood, you need to stop giving podcasters pictures of you as a child in a wheelchair and in a hospital bed and framing this as though it was a miracle. You recovered in probably the exact way that the prognosis would anticipate you recovering, based on your age, the fact that it was spurned on by a viral infection. I know, like I said, that that's not all cases, but on the bell curve of recovery for transverse myelitis, of people your age who had idiopathic, which means, a one-time onset, your immune system made a mistake. This is how people recover. This is what's expected. I know it sounds like a doctor told you otherwise, basically led you to believe that this was going to be a permanent paralysis and potentially permanent impairment. And that is on the realm of possibility, but it is not the most likely outcome. And a medical professional should have known better than to indicate to you that that was the case.
And I got to stop right there, because I think a medical professional did know that was the case. I don't know where he got it into his brain that this could lead to permanent paralysis, and that was the most likely scenario. But I don't think it was the doctors. I can't imagine, like, a doctor. The only reason I can think of a doctor would do that is they were trying to avoid getting possibly sued in the future if it became permanent. Like, that was to be the only one. So yeah, well, that's fine. We welcome those kind of people here. Who do you think you're hanging out with? Like, we have Fred here. So come on. Yeah, I really do have to question that story, Robin. The idea that a medical professional didn't explain all the possibilities and that the most likely scenario was the most hopeful one. So there you go. Yeah, I'm just being fair, Robert. Come on. Yeah, you're in good company, buddy. Hey, it's a Tuck sighting. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? I deny it, mostly. Of course you do. But yeah, like this is what makes Wes's story very unbelievable to me. I do not think a medical professional did that. Like, it's not. So it's not. I don't think it is. And I think Shannon's kind of like considering the possibility, and I do too. If I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about that. But I find it extremely unlikely that a medical professional wouldn't have explained all the options and that the most likely scenario was recovery. So there you go. I'm willing to bet there was some miscommunication, whether accidental or deliberate along the line. Though I far from discount and outright. Yes, like you can't sit there and say maybe he's not ginning up this story in order to help his apologetic claims. So that might be very real too. So
continuing to present it publicly as you are, with the platform that you have, the popularity that you're gleaning, and the trust that people have in you, it's insensitive, it's dismissive, and it's frankly irresponsible. More to the point, it's a misrepresentation of the medical literature. And you're popular. People listen to you. If I was a child who was receiving this diagnosis and I or my parents listened to you, I'd assume that recovering at all would have to be a miracle. And I'd be really scared. And if I were someone like me, and I know a bit about that, being me, someone who has an immune system that didn't just make a one-time mistake, but in fact was systematically prone to those types of mistakes, I could easily think from listening to you that my condition and yours were similar. And that influence could impact not only my perception of my prognosis, but the choices that I make to navigate its reality. Please stop, Wes. Stop
Okay, I got to echo Shannon there. Like, the biggest thing that I gets pissed off about this representation is he is now currently misrepresenting things. Other people are listening to him. Other Christians, other people that are probably receiving this diagnosis, because he's going to be one of those famous people that has had this diagnosis, and somebody's going to look that up. Some AI search or Google search is going to famous people with this medical condition that recovered. He's going to be on that list. Okay. And people are going to listen to what he has to say and say, oh man, it was the only way I got out of this was a miracle. And if I was a child and I heard that and I had this diagnosis, and much like Wes, I was not able to walk, and I'm like, my only hope is a miracle, and then I walk again, and then I'm ginned into the idea that it's a miracle. Come on. Like, it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to keep representing what happened to you this way at this point. You should know better. And it's deceitful. Like, I'm going to go a little farther. I'm going to say it's a deceitful thing to do. Like, to misrepresent what your medical condition was at this time, it's deceitful at this point. Like, whether or not you were fooled into it or whatever, I don't think Wes really has an excuse now. Okay. And like, I just don't buy the medical diagnosis part. I think that they told the parents and told Wes, yeah, there's a pretty good chance of recovery too. Like, I can't imagine the medical professionals doing that. That would be very irresponsible for them. So there you go. So I just don't think it would falsely represent his childhood. Oh yes, absolutely. Like, and if it's not even like a health claim, Robin, there's a lot of apologists that have like these moments where God miraculously showed himself real to them. Like, they all have that. Like, so it's not an uncommon thing for preachers to have these experiential miracle stories to back up their credibility as ministers. Um, that's my problem. I think he does know better, and he should know better, and he should stop representing this as a miracle. Shannon Q is absolutely right, and I will go a little bit farther. I think it's dishonest for him to continue to do so. Like, I think he's moved from the realm of being like, okay, maybe I'm misinformed, to like, and you're still telling the story. I have a problem with that. So there you go. Doesn't everybody have sort of go to preachers? Almost every preacher has some sort of miracle story of why they believe and why they're still being a preacher. I had one. Like, I had God was getting after me, and I had a very bad appendicitis attack, and that was God getting my attention. Because God can't actually get your attention with love. He has to like give you some disease or hurt you some way or have a car accident. Like, I had a combo. I had a car accident where I smashed the steering wheel to the dashboard of the truck that I was driving, and I hit my face on the windshield. And then a few months later, I had an appendicitis attack where I had to have my appendix removed and all this other stuff. And so all that combined into like God's trying to get a hold of me, because at the time I was like thinking about going into something else instead of the ministry, and that kind of forced my hand. And say, oh man, if I don't go into the ministry, God's going to get really pissed at me, and I might end up dead, and so it's either a miracle story, it's a story like I just told, like God was got my attention by almost killing me, kind of thing. Those are the two conversations you'll usually have with people that believe sometimes. So yes, how generous God's going to see. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of be abuse to bring people into line. Yeah, that's kind of what I think now when I look at my own story of why I stayed in the ministry. It was an abusive situation where I feel like I really relate to abuse victims, because I feel like that was my relationship to my Heavenly Father most of the time when I was a kid and a teen. So, so there you go.
Presenting what this condition is in an ineffective way. You're not doing anyone any favors, and you're causing people harm until you fully know, recognize, and understand the medical facts surrounding the condition. Do not speak towards it as though you do. You may be hurting and terrifying people that you don't even know who really, really believe in you. I hope that there isn't a child somewhere sitting in a bed with an acute, idiopathic, transverse myelitis event that had just happened to them, thinking, because they are their parents, listen to you talk about how your recovery must have been a miracle, because that's what the doctors said, that the only way they'll recover is if they get a miracle too. Let them have hope.
However,
okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there, because she gets off screen for a little bit. Wes is going to say some other nonsense that I also want to deal with, but she is absolutely correct, and I don't think Wes is unaware that she is correct. I think he is blissfully ignorant that he is causing harm, or he doesn't care. Okay. And I'm not sure I can buy the blissfully ignorant anymore. Like, he's had 25 years to study his medical condition. People who usually have medical conditions usually take a look at it from time to time and see what research has been done. He knew enough to know the name had been changed. So yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not really sure about that, but I think so. Yeah, guy was being mad because he gave him a preacher. Yeah. He'd been homeless twice, hit by an SUV crossing the street. I was busy running away during 9/11. God has been trying to get a hold of me, but the phone's been off the hook for 23 years. You know what? I could appreciate the humor in the face of all that adversity. I kind of am the same way. His first line part for girls. Like yesterday, the UK-based Bible Society had to retract the study. Yes, I saw that story. Rationality Rules kind of informed me of that one. But they had to retract the Bible story about the people are coming back to the church. They had to remove it because the research is faulty. So. I don't know if he's aware. Wes has had, like, there's probably a million response videos about Wes, and the people don't seem to realize, like, this is it's quite possible that there are many response videos. I know, like, Apologia has obviously done a response video. I guess I'm reacting to part of it. Shannon Q has pulled her part out, same reaction. I'm doing a reaction to a reaction. So, but you're allowed to react to people. Like, I mean, commentators all over the world that people don't know they're talk about people all the time. So, beep, beep. The sound of my landlines make when they're off. Okay. There you go. I remember that sound.
I still needed to figure some of the more intellectual questions out of my head when I was a teenager. So it wasn't just that this happened and explained a lot, because I was open to the possibility of this being a fluke.
Okay, were you open to the possibility that it's, like, medically normal? Like, not necessarily a fluke, but medically normal. Like, were you open to that possible? So there you go.
There being a completely randomness to this.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was a teenager, I investigated a lot, to the best of my ability as a 17-year-old, in trying to answer some of the more meaning questions about, I know what my parents raised me to believe, but if I believe it simply because they told me to, it's not the worst reason, but it's also not the best reason. So that is the first time that I read the Quran cover to cover. I was looking into things like the Book of Mormon and the Bhagavad Gita. I was just curious.
Okay, listen. I know I was leaving, but real quick before I go, one, not a fluke, Wes, not a fluke. We already covered that, not a fluke. But that's not why I appeared. Did he just say that he was open to this not being a fluke, so he started investigating to see if it wasn't, and his investigation was reading other religious texts? I hope my cartoon is blinking derisively right now, because although I am still giving Wes the benefit of the doubt, I am, to hear him saying that his investigation into his recovery potentially not being a miracle or a fluke or whatever led him to the Quran and not, I don't know, the medical literature about transverse myelitis, is making it really, really hard for me to believe that this framing isn't deliberate. Just really, really.
Oh, Shannon. If you hear this, it's not really hard to believe that this framing isn't deliberate. I absolutely know. As soon as he said that this framing was deliberate. Like, he didn't look into the medical stuff. He looked into the Quran and the Book of Mormon and all the religious texts instead. I'm sorry, folks. I can't, every time I hear her talk about this, I can't stop laughing, because Wes Huff's response to this recovery wasn't like, I had to deep dive into it intellectually. So instead of going into the medical research of how this could have happened, how it could have actually been a very realistic, I run to all the religious texts. What? I'm sorry. It's making me, I'm sorry. I absolutely think the framing of this miracle story is deliberate after he said that. Like, I've been holding off on this part because I absolutely now think that this is deliberate framing. Like, he is still using this miracle story to deliberately frame something that allows his apologetic ministry, if you will, to go forward. Because you're literally telling me that instead of looking at the medical research about your condition to see if, like, maybe it wasn't a fluke, maybe this was just something that can happen, instead you decide to investigate all the religious texts and all the religions instead. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to figure out which God the miracle actually came from? I mean, what's going on? Like, you're not really investigating whether it was a fluke or a miracle or what. You're investigating instead, like, which belief system caused this miracle. So as he's reading other religions is something he researched his condition, because that doesn't make any no, because it doesn't. And that's the funny part. I'm sorry. This makes me think that this is deliberately framed. Like the way he uses this miracle story is deliberately framed because he's avoiding the medical literature. Like he's deliberately avoiding the medical literature, or like his whole thoughts was, I needed to find out where the miracle came from. And that's why I got into this. So yeah, it's plied on things he never sells then. I think you're being too charitable. I think Shannon Q was being too charitable up to this point. Like she starts laughing. I think she knows. Like at this point, she's still trying to be the professional, but at this point, that set me off too. I'm like, what? Like, I don't think that Mormons are Christians because Jesus is the right name. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Wes is a very unserious fellow in the universe of reading religious texts, intellectual regarding medicine. Yes. Oh my gosh. But I got to this. I'm sorry. Every time I hear like you can tell Shannon is like trying not to bust out laughing, because I was trying not to bust out laughing as soon as he said it too. Like, are you serious? Like your whole investigation, Mr. Wes Huff, #1 Christian expert, when you're trying to investigate, was this a fluke or whether this happened to me? We're not going to run to the medical literature and find out if this kind of recovery is more than normal, like this happens. I don't get it. There you go. You need to find the religion to blame and then the one that cured you. Easy. Gotcha. Yep. But yeah, like I was laughing too. I was laughing too. And to me, I think this just kind of proves it to me that it's more deliberate framing between it's complicated. And the doctors told me I'd never walk again, which I don't think they did. And this part where, when I still had to do the intellectual thing, so I began to examine all the religions instead of the medical literature about my condition. Come on, man. Come on. No, I'm done. I'm kind of done at this point. So I do feel bad for the guy. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad for every apologist. As a part of my soul, as a former Christian, as somebody who used to buy all this stuff, I feel bad for him until I wonder how much money they make. Like, because these guys all have books and they sell a lot of them. Christianity outnumbers skepticism so much. And I remember going into used bookstores and trying to pawn off my used religious books. And that's the one type of book that most used bookstores have a real discount eye for, because they have entire warehouses full of the stuff. Because these people will go out, they'll write their books, they'll make millions of dollars. Okay. Yeah. I personally blame Odin and think us too. Yeah, it might be that way. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it's like every apologist, like Kokel, his book Tactics, I wonder how much money that's made him. How much does his radio show make him? Like, you got Frank Turek, who tours going to college campuses. How much money does he make per appearance? Like, when you really think about this, how much money is involved in this apologetic stuff, is it any wonder that somebody like Wes, who's probably making an equal amount of money for appearances and stuff, is like, I got to keep maintaining the miracle story, because even though I know it's medical bullshit, I still have to do it. There's a great deal of pressure of success. And so, yes, I feel for the guy, but yeah, yes, I need cash. And yes, it's tax-free, because you label it all under a religious organization doing religious work, a not-for-profit, tax-free. Okay. If you pay yourself a salary, you have to pay taxes out of your salary, but you don't have to pay taxes out of your organization. And so you get the organization to do a whole bunch of stuff for you, tax-free. And so you have to factor that in. And I have to, oh yeah, that was a great times. Those are good times. When the cold case detective, he got burned on his origin story. Well, we do thank Fangs for a lot of things we probably shouldn't. All right, let's finish this up.
Hard. If somebody says, I didn't want to just believe my mom that this was a miracle, or the doctors, or whatever. So I started to investigate and it was a medical condition, and your investigation leads you to reading like the Quran and the and other religious texts. Are you investigating to see if it was like a different God's miracle? What is that investigation going to tell you about whether or not it was a miracle? I don't understand. Maybe he should have instead read the medical literature and understood a bit more about transverse myelitis. I just
Oh, my
that is
goodness.
baffling to me. But anyway, sorry for the brief interruption. Anyway,
Yeah, okay, that's the end of it. But yes, like it's after he said that last part, I'm like, oh my God, he just gave away the game and he doesn't realize it. From somebody who used to be inside the game, I used to be a preacher, I used to believe this stuff, all that stuff. At that point, I'm like, I really feel like the framing that Wes is doing with this miracle claim is really deliberate now. I really feel that that's the case. And I feel bad for him in the sense that I do think it's like all ministers. You get into the game far enough, and it's like if you stop believing, you either have one or two choices. You keep up the appearances and keep up the grift because that's your livelihood, or you become painfully honest and get out, which can be very, very detrimental to like your career and everything else. That's why places like the Clergy Project exist, okay, because guiding people out of that process and figuring it out is I get it. At the same time, how do you justify this when your religion claims that lying is a bad thing? Like, I don't need to go. So I'd go watch it, but yeah. So, but yes, I just don't, I think in my final analysis, I think Shannon is very nice to Wes in a very professional sense. I, as the rabid atheist, can say I really sense grifter. This whole interview about Wes just made my opinion change about Wes. I used to thought maybe he was a sincere believer that it was just very silly and using silly old stupid arguments. But now I'm beginning to have a little darker view of Wes Huff. Like he's a real pretty guy that uses all that, his emotional connection with this story, his supposed authority as a quote unquote PhD, almost PhD, I should say, his extreme confidence and how he looks and everything. I'm beginning to think that he uses all that to make money. And maybe he's had one of those moments where he's like, man, I really need to stop doing this because that's yeah, but yeah. Like, I just don't know what else to do. I don't know. Yes, yes. We have all kinds of hugs for you. So, let's see. Nothing is more notorious and more among Christians than assertions. Take away assertions, you take away Christianity. Yeah, you might have said that. I hate to say that. Yeah, but I guess once again, it's assertions and no evidence. You and me, Robert, we're waiting. We're waiting for the evidence. Making money isn't bad. Selling propaganda to make is the bad thing. Yeah, it's the propaganda bullshit. Like that's my problem. That's my issue with this whole thing. So that's kind of it for the reaction. I'm going to take my 2-minute break and I'm going to come back, and I actually got some Earl art, a piece of Earl art to share with you, and I've got some, any other questions we can end with a Q&A. But my question is, do you think that this interview helped Wes's reputation or did it diminish it? Like, I know Shannon Q and Apologia have gotten out there and done their thing, but even they admitted, will this actually do anything? So I'll be interested to hear your questions and any comments along those lines. So, but I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll do some fluffle stuff. So we'll see then. See you in a couple of minutes. All right, and I am back. Let's see, did I get any? Oh, yeah, we'll promote Robin Webster, friend of the channel. Hey, Fluffle, go over there and subscribe to Robin. We helped do this with Dave. We got Dave of Captive Desk over a certain limit because the Fluffle all invaded his channel and pushed him over 600. I think we can do that for Robin. Like all you and the Fluffle gonna head over there and zap up her subscriber count a little bit. No. Quote wasn't made by Albert Einstein. Oh, let's see. Internet Archive books. You're missing out. Okay. Will this do anything? Absolutely not. Wes is building a lot of momentum, and this particular podcast is one of those once in a lifetime moonshots that can compel you to starve them. We're just noise. I am kind of agreeing with you on that, Felicia. I think that's going to be the problem. Like, I think Wes's popularity is growing. And I think the problem is nobody is going to critically analyze that miracle story as much as, say, Apologia, Shannon Q, and myself and others. I don't think that, like, I'm looking at it from a grifter point of view because that's my skeptical nature, having been burned by Christianity so many times, and my Pentecostal heritage. Like, when you grow up in the Pentecostal church and you start analyzing miracle claims that people make and suddenly realize there's a lot of BS in it, you begin to realize that people do this kind of thing to kind of gin things up. So I don't think anybody's going to critically analyze this interview like we have. That's why I did this, because there needs to be another voice echoing Shannon Q on this particular issue. And I can put her on anything to promote the idea where this gets out a little bit more of, maybe you should be skeptical of Wes's miracle claims. Like, maybe you should just do that. So there you go. Invite those people to be meaningful, impact his trajectory. I don't think so, Josh. I don't think his trajectory is changing. I think what's going to happen with Wes is kind of what happened to the cold case detective, where something is so patently, obviously wrong, and somebody points it out. Like, who's that? That's J. Warner Wallace. But he, when Prophet of Zod pointed out his origin story had problems. The other problem is, like, what happened to Habermas. Like, Apologia and myself got in Habermas's face and said, where's your research to prove your 90% claim? It's like, and they had to react to that, and it didn't go well. It's something like that where they have that moment where everybody kind of takes a look and says, yeah, that's kind of bad. And I don't know if that's going to happen to him. So yeah, they won't critically analyze because of momentum. Like, this lets other people make money too. So they just go along with the story. Yeah. And like, I think Apologia's video shows that, like, there's so many sycophants that are just, oh, this is so awesome for Wes. This is so, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I know it's a once in a lifetime thing, and yeah, that's great, but I don't think the apologetics was that good in that. So the religions and toast the white ron. You don't know what you're talking about? Oh, maybe not every day. You see miracles every day. The only miracle I ever see of willing to wake me up and log into work is a miracle I haven't quite quit yet. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this, because he's very terrible at his job. Like, if you sit down and analyze what he says, it's a terrible job that he's done. It's interesting because Earl made this little picture for a pre-supper we had this week. And the problem is, I feel the same whenever I listen to Wes. Okay. Like, I have this problem with the reasoning that most apologists go, that I really feel like it's a red string thing. Like, they're making connections that don't exist, and it's bad. And Wes Huff is very bad at it too. I really think it's the manufactured authority, the golden boy speaking with confidence image, and this emotional connection because of his miracle story that everybody looks at, and that's why he's so popular and that's why he's growing. It has nothing to do with analyzing what he's actually saying. And that's what really sucks. Okay, so yeah. You could do a better job at apologetics. Me too. Like I have literally have a series called Helping the Apologists. I try to help them all the time. They don't listen, but I try to help them. So, oh, she's up to 198. Good. 2 more. Come on, Fluffle. Fluffle Fangs, get over and subscribe to Robin. So, I'm still alive for now. Yeah, we love the art. I love the artwork of Earl. Oh, speaking of which, I have a new piece that she sent me because we had this discussion about turning Fangs into Casper. And we also, like me and Earl have been, like, we're looking for the next religion to kind of go after. Although I'm not sure what vegetable. Did we pick a vegetable for this one, Earl? Like, did we? I don't remember if the Fluffle or us picked a vegetable for this one. Can you find Fangs in this picture? Where's Fangs? But yeah, like, I don't know if we picked a vegetable for Scientology. Did we do that yet? Like, what vegetable would fit Scientology? Like, so, not sure I've ever tasted Miracle Whip, should I? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like, he's a good-looking guy who supposedly has the academic creds, although he doesn't really. And so, oh, the star fruit? Did we pick the star fruit Fangs? So there you go. Oh, but yeah, like I think that's what Wes Huff goes on. Like, he's a very popular guy. He's a good looking guy. He speaks with confidence. He has the miracle story that causes the connection. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did pick the star fruit for Scientology. Oh, find a problem in religion, make up a solution, search in vaguely supporting scripture, cash in. Yeah, there you go. Or the kumquat. Oh, did we also pick out the cotton parsnips? I don't know. Yes, it's deliberate cultural appropriation. There you go. Can anybody find Fangs in this picture, though? He's in there. He's a little translucent, though. Be the Duran given the smell. I'm actually interested to see what Earl does with Scientology and whatever thing we pick, because that's one of those religions that just boggles my mind, because they literally tell you that they're making it up as a religion and they don't. Yeah, I think he is now anyway. Like, I think Tom Cruise has moved into the highest echelons of Scientology. I know he doesn't like it to be criticized. Like, every time somebody's been critical of his religion, he's like, yeah. But not their leader. I just made up an executive decision as your resident deity. Okay, so it's going to be starfruit. Is Fangs good? Okay, so we're going to go with starfruit. I think that'll work. Yes, a Muslim task force. Yes, but yeah, like, Scientology is one of those weird religions that L. Ron Hubbard basically did it on a bet, as I recall. Like, he just created a thing on a bet. Like, yeah, I bet I can do a religion and get it popular and make money off of it. And sure enough. And the good looks mean triple compared to how they would mean in other secular places like celebrities, because there are no other attractive young apologists. I guess, well, yeah, let's think. I mean, I'm not a judge of most apologists, but are there any other really attractive apologists to people? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. No, all of them, most of them are old boys, like they're old white men. Let's be real. Yeah, Hubbard was hilarious. Like he like knew it was a grift, and he I don't think he made any attempts to disguise that either. Like I don't think he disguised it. Like we have Mr. Deity and Seth, the voice of God. Andrews, yeah, I know. Like we have the people, the voice. So yeah, I think he knew it was a grift. I think he absolutely knew it, and he just did it. But yeah, like there's the apocryphal story that he told a friend that he was going to make up a religion and see if he could make money. Um, Honestly, though, like his work of fiction, Battlefield Earth, like I didn't mind that. I read that, and it actually brought up some pretty good science fiction points. So, like, wasn't the best science fiction ever, and the movie adaptation was terrible. So, the man has ungodly halitosis. So thanks. Like you've drank with the dead. Okay, there we go. I didn't know that you had that ability to go and talk to the dead and drink with them. But yeah, like, are there any attractive apologists? Is Wes Huff the only one that's attractive? Like, I don't think Michael Jones is attractive of inspired philosophy. So people should watch L. Ron Hubbard's grandson do his bit called Jamie DeWolf, the God and the Man. Okay. Was listening for decades and produced protest as media as well. That's a great video. Okay. Wes doesn't look too attractive to me. Okay. He's not attractive to me either. Like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not attracted that way. See, I keep waiting for the female. Is there a female apologist out there that's well known? I'm trying to think of one. Like if I define himself past the committee. Oh, he break down. Yeah, like I really think that like L. Ron Hubbard knew this was a grift. Like he knew it going into it. He made up shit. And the problem is it works so well and made so much money. Like it makes Scientology's money level is absurd. Like, oh, Erica Kirk. I don't know. She seems to be throwing herself at everybody these days. So and I'm not sure she's classified as an official apologist per se, more than she is a political activist. So, I mean, she's CEO of a company that her husband used to run, and that crazy lady who visits heaven. I can see it. He's got those very conventional good looks, Jack style. Okay. Crazy if you consider him an apologist with mentioning. Okay. I'd mention Cameron Bertizzi if you consider him an apologist with mentioning in the same breath as Wes Huff. I mean, they're all grifters, so it's really the same level. Yeah, like are there any female apologists out there? I just don't know if there are any. Like I know there's female Christian show hosts, but I wouldn't classify them as full-time apologists. Like there's several Christian shows out there that are hosted by women, and they have guests, but I don't know if they would consider that one. So that's the one. Okay. All right. All right. All right. There you go. But yeah. Oh. Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of women Christians that do their shows, but I'm not really sure I would say they're apologetics people. They're more Christian grifters, like grifting all of Christianity. So like I just don't know too many apologists that aren't old white guys. Like it's like let's see, you got Kokel, you got J. Warner Wallace, you got William Lane Craig. Like the only young guys I know of are Wes Huff and maybe Michael Jones. So, oh, she is an apologist in your opinion? Okay. But the point is made though, Fangs, don't you think? Like there's not too many women in this crowd. Like there just isn't very many. So, well, I have the official hat on. There was something that Cranky wanted me to do. Oh yes, godlet. I now want to make godlet, the term godlet, an official term for Fangsology. I'm gonna do that. Okay. So now godlet is official. Like this is Fangs in his godlet form. So there you go. Yes, godlet. There we go. So I got to put that as part of the official Fangsology canon. So godlet has been added into the lexicon. So, so there you go. There you go. See, Fangs actually has an emotional reaction to pictures of his infant pictures of himself. That's how powerful that is. What a great piece of art, by the way. Well done. Well done. Oh yeah, like Ken Ham has what's her face. Oh, she has like there's two women in his team that used to do the news show that they used to do, but I think they were both married. So yeah, wasn't you adorable? Yes, you were very adorable. You are the cutest deity that I know of. Like the most adorable deity there is Fangs. So I'm so glad I made you up. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a cute deity to worship or not worship, as the case may be. Emojis in my phone. There you go. And tons of good Christian apologist ladies. They never make it anywhere because Christians don't want to listen to women. You know, the weaker vessel. Yes, yes. I remember that theology in the Assemblies of God, Robert. Like the Assemblies of God is like applauded for giving credentials to women and very early on, but the backhanded way they talk about it is still really interesting. Well, we're not going to let women, like for a long time, women weren't allowed to be pastors. They could be evangelists, they could be prophetesses and all that other crap, but they couldn't actually be pastors. They changed that rule a little while ago, but yeah, it's like, well, sometimes God calls a weaker vessel to his ministry. So there you go. Oh, you blush under the fur. Okay, there you go. You actually blush. Okay. That's a revelation. Yeah, like, yes, like that's kind of the thing. Like, that's why I think there isn't a lot of women. Like, I can think of famous women ministers. There are very few. Like Catherine Coleman comes to mind. Oh, who's the one that's doing her stuff now? Though her crowds are getting smaller. I've reacted to her. So, but yeah, like it's very rare. Like women ministers in the pulpit are very, very rare. So, especially in that area. And then they have to focus on becoming sandwich robots. Oh, I don't know who the head is right now, Decibel. I know that wasn't it Trask? One of the Trasks was in charge when I was in there. But yeah, like it was when I was in the Assemblies of God and when I was an ordained minister, it was the I think when I went through my class, I was class of 2001 Michigan District for being ordained. And I don't remember a female getting ordained with us. It was all 10 of us, I think, were men. So, and does not allow officially ordain women as pastors. Okay, there you go. The Assemblies of God was always considered progressive in that regard, but the United Pentecostal Church International doesn't do it. You had to look it up. Yeah, like I would have to look up Assemblies of God and who's in charge right now. Like I've been out so long, but yeah, like it's it was a thing. The women's pastors was a thing. Like it was, they would let women be ordained ministers, but letting them become a pastor was a very, very rare occurrence. I think I only knew of one when I was in the assemblies. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that observed that that could be a good band name. Oh. You mean boink? Only with enthusiastic consent. Yes. Fangs is very much about enthusiastic consent and boinking. So, but yes. You have two bands? No, but I remember when I was in the Assemblies of God, I'm like, that would make a pretty cool name for something else. I remember doing that. But the United Pentecostal Church, man, the United Pentecostal Church still does not officially ordain ministers, women pastors. Oh my God. Kind of like the Catholic Church. Like, I put going, oh, you're and the Outsiders. Really? You play guitar? My respect for you has gone up. Like, I like guitar players. Hair bands? Yes, hair bands. Probably a band by the children of the members of Fields of the Nephilim. There's some great band names out there. There's other ones that I question, but yeah, but the Assemblies of God. Oh, yes, you got hair bands. Yes, hair bands. Everybody should get hair bands. HRARE. I'm trying to remember if I remember a woman who had a sex scandal, but the standard procedure for sex scandals in the Assemblies of God was a 2-year hiatus in counseling, like Christian counseling. So it wasn't going to fix the problem, but yeah, that was the standard. The standard thing was 2 years of counseling, and you weren't allowed to be a preacher for 2 years. That's why Jimmy Swaggart, when his shit happened, he left the assembly so he could keep preaching. So, but yeah, like that. But it's not unheard of that women preachers have had sex scandals. That I've heard stories where that has happened. Like they get involved with some other guy in the church other than their husband or that sort of thing. So, but yeah, it does happen. It just because of the dearth in female preachers, pretty much in all denominations, it's kind of universal. Like, yeah, it's just rarer to hear about it. So, yeah, they do. It's just a lie, Michael. Dave Peck was a restored Church of God, yes. Because we have to restore the Church of God because I have a question. For those of you who are outside the church all this time, does all the different names of the churches just strike you as odd sometimes? Like this one, the Restored Church of God. Like somehow God had to restore his church because it got offline the first time, or like, yeah, I have the same thing. I have the same question now, but like it's like when you walk by a church and it's like the second First Baptist church with fire and signs following. Like, do you have questions when you see the names of denominations and churches sometimes? Like, where did that come from? Silly names. That's probably true. A wanking scandal and died with her lover in a plane crash. Oh, yes. Who was that? Yeah, but there's someone. Church of the Latter-day Saints. The Mormons. Yeah. Not like I haven't used this image before, but sure. Yeah. Still one of my favorites. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Church of the Latter-day Saints. The Mormonians. I mean, like some of these names that you see on the front of churches. Have you ever? There's been some good ones I've seen over the years. Like it's like, like there was one that like there was one town I was in the South, and I saw it like the Third Baptist Church. And I'm like, is there another two? And I asked somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, there's like 4 Baptist church in there, and they're all, one's First Baptist Church, second, third, fourth. I'm like, what? So, but yes, like the teenager's name. But yeah, like I don't know. When I remember, like I would have to explain what denomination I was in. I'd say the Assemblies of God, and some people like look at you sideways, like, what in the hell are you talking about? I mean, we have the Catholics and the Protestants, everything beyond that is super, super rare. Yeah, that's probably true. But even the Catholic Church, like some of the saints that they, I got to look something up here. Something I have a question about. For Catholic churches. Oh yeah, like Saint Isidore has been added to the saint list as the patron saint of protection against the dangers of the internet. This is a thing. Saint Drogo, saint of unattractive people. Can you imagine the first Catholic saint, the Church of Saint Drogo? Gwen Shamlin. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Greenford. Oh, they're not on the list. Like Saint Polycarp of Smyrna is the patron saint of dysentery. The Church of Saint Polycarp of Smyrna. Saint Olga, yes. Cornelius, the patron saint of twitching. Saint Apollinaire, open wide. Oh. I got to look this one. Saint Apollinaire is the patron saint of opening wide. That has so many connotations. Oh, the dog saint. I remember that one. Yeah. Can you imagine the church of Saint Gunfort, the dog? Thinking they were bros until they break down and one is from the second church of 1835 and the other heretics, yes. Did a genocide in the 9th century. Yeah, like there's a lot of ones. Like but yeah, like I was just thinking about Catholics, if they pick certain saints, how weird that would be. Saint Denis, patron saint of headaches. But yeah, like there's some of them that if you put them on front of a Catholic church, it'd be very interesting. Saint Bridget, she was a Celtic goddess synchronized. Yes, I remember her because I remember somebody made a comment about that. This is like the church appropriating paganism in the Celtic church. I remember hearing that in a documentary. Like Bridget is a Celtic goddess that they just made into a saint. There's the old Catholic country, the name are extremely progressive. There's always Witch Fortis, the woman who prayed to be unattracted to avoid a marriage, grew a beard, and got crucified for it. Oh, I want to be unattracted to men. UPC, don't hold me to that. I'm looking into it. Yeah, well, I'm just saying. It wouldn't surprise me though. Kept the skulls of their victims for drinking cups. Okay, there we go. It's also a cult that gave her entire congregation eating disorders. They may have nibbled the electrical wires on aircraft. She may or may not, allegedly. Oh, Earl, you find the most interesting things. Oh, I mean fangs. Sorry. You're channeling. You're being channeled, I'm sure. But yes, like the patron, like some of these weird names for churches, I just have always wondered. Like don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm very proud of the fact that we are the Fluffle of Fangs. Like this, that's a high tier thing. So, oh, she may have had an affair with the Pope. Well, that wasn't unusual back then. Like there are some popes that kept brothels, so in the Vatican. So, kept trying to marry her. Well, because the popes didn't like for a while there, the whole celibacy thing was kind of optional. So, yeah. So there you go. Oh, she's trying not to burn her dinner. Okay, well, that's been a kind of a challenge this week, so I'll let her keep at it. So, oh, you want to know what Fangs thinks of Mother Teresa? Oh, that ought to be a good one. I know what I think of Mother Teresa. She was a mother. I kind of have the same feeling about her that Christopher Hitchens does or did. So I've read his book. So, oh man, chicken broth. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, look up some of the most evil popes that have ever been. There's one guy who literally had, like, between the nuns and the brothels he had, there's a very high estimation in the number of women he had sex with. And I think he's also the same guy that sold the popery to somebody else. Like, he literally sold it so he could make money and go off and do his own thing. Like, like there's a bunch of those. Like, the popes have a really, so there you go. Required, so you don't have to tithe if you want a hat. Yes. Like, yeah, if you want me to wear the hat, that's the only time you have to give money. Like, there you go. Got to remember time on the inside and praise the church heap on Mother Teresa. Looking back, it was insane how much propaganda the church pumped into promoting her. Yeah, because they wanted so desperately to have a female saint at the time. I think that's what it was all about. Like, they wanted to have somebody very recent that was a saint. But if you look at her miracles, they're jokes. And when you look at what she actually did with all the money she was given, she just built more nunneries. Like, it was more nunneries and monasteries. So what is the nap lab having for dinner today? I have no idea. She's trying not to burn it, though. Mike, we know what challenge this has been. Yeah, Benedict the Ninth. Yeah, like, he was an asshole. Like, of all the people that you wouldn't, like, this guy had no morals whatsoever. Like, man, this is a great gig. You know, I get to pretend to be the head of the church and, have the church all jump whenever I say something. All these women that I have in my brothels, I get to do whatever I want with. And at some point, I'm going to probably sell this thing and make some money. Like, yeah, like the Catholic Church has had, like, you think it's messed up now. There was a time, like, it was just stuff. So, oh, she's having roll. See, Earl knows how to cook. Like, I don't. Like, she puts a little bit of her heart and soul what she's going to cook for dinner. So, first gen saint also had very iffy miracles. At least he wasn't a dick, though. Yes. Oh, yes. But yeah, like, it's, I don't know. The whole sainthood, like, the Catholic Church always just was fascinating to me from the outside because it just looks so weird. Like, I always thought about, like, I could open a fake Catholic church, but I would want to find a very interesting saint to name it after. because I've always thought about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, you guys look weird from the outside too. Like, like it's like, what the hell? Like, it's an understatement. Yes, ravioli, see, nice. There you go. But yes, weird isn't it? Like, for those of you who are Catholic, I'm not. I always thought it was weird, even as a Protestant minister. Like, I know we both believe in Jesus, but I know how to cook. Put the box in the microwave and press the button. It's just not that hard. Fred, I hate to break the news to you, Fred, but that's some people would not consider that cooking. I do. I think that's cooking, Fred. There are other people that would not do. So I nibbled holes at the twat waffles, nunnery robes, and ugly shoes so she can look as shabby as the orphan she didn't take care of. See, I told you Fangs would have a very interesting take on Mother Teresa. She has an interesting take on a lot of things. Fangs always has interesting takes. Always. Always, always, always. You know, so, but, you know, having to deal with all this stuff, we have interesting takes on it. So, though some people would be wrong, but that is cooking. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a suggestion, Ikey. If you're still listening, she's busy doing her dinner, but see, Michael seems to be a connoisseur of food or a foodie as well. So, like, there are definitely some people that are foodies that want things to taste right. I just am interested in sustenance that I won't gag on. but yeah, spaghetti. I can't do pasta anymore. Like, it doesn't sit well with me anymore. It's not the pasta itself; it's the sauce. For those of you who are foodies, I need a pasta sauce that won't irritate my stomach because of what is it? Your scales agree. Okay, there you go. But I need like a sauce on a pasta that won't make my stomach upset. I don't know. I've tried a lot of them, but they just don't work anymore. I'm trying to enjoy life again. So, but yeah, like food is one of those things I'm trying to enjoy again. I don't know. Maybe this summer I'm going to do a little bit of on my vacation, I'll probably do a little bit of a tour, some local towns with some local cuisine to see what this is about. I think it's whatever's like, it's mostly with tomato sauces, like anything that's tomato based. So I tried white sauces and some of them are okay, but I'm trying to find a tomato based sauce. And I think there might be something inherent in the spices and tomato sauce for pasta that might be the problem. So like I don't know what it is specifically, but like every time I do it, it makes my stomach upset. And I don't know what's inherently in like tomato based sauce that would do that. So I just need to take a Zantac before I eat it. Okay, so it's got to be the acid. Okay, yeah, I thought that what it might be, but it's like this is the problem I'm having. Like I used to like hot stuff too. Can't eat any of that either. So I'm okay with pure tomatoes sometimes. I can't eat too many. So that's kind of what made me think it was the acid too. But I was just wondering if there's an alternative that isn't as acidic. So I used to be a steakhouse kitchen manager. I mean, food got to be right. Okay. Oh, she doesn't eat very often. Okay. Well, I can't help you with the hot stuff. I eat raw Carolina Reapers, so you're on your own. Yeah, like I used to do that, Felicia. Like I used to eat really hot peppers for fun. Like when I was much younger, man, I can't do that anymore. Like it kills me. Add a carrot, maybe add some. Okay, so add something that'll take away the acidic. Okay, I will give it a shot. Okay, I will give it a shot. But yeah, like I've had major trouble with any tomato-based sauces for a while. So yeah, I've done the shelves for those. Like the interesting thing about a guy who does shelves for a living, like I changed the shelves in Walmart for a living, rearrange things so you can't find it. become acquainted with very, very many products over the years that I look at and kind of look at sideways and like, I didn't even know that existed. So, and jerk is one of those things that kind of hit me recently. So that and Jamaican beef patties, you don't want to eat those. All right. It's the acid. Okay. See, I'm learning. I always am learning. I try to learn. But yeah, I don't know. There's some local cuisines that I've never sampled. So around here, there's even a new barbecue place that they opened downtown. I'll have to check it out sometime. Ingredients and barely any spices, just the produce. Okay. Apologia's response to the infographic show video on proofs for Jesus' brother. Have I done that already? I'm trying to remember if I've done that already. I may have a response video to that one already. But I will look that up. Like I can do that. I can do that live. Like the thing about live reactions that I like is I get the fluffle involved and they usually have some very good information. So it's not just me reacting to the video, it's the fluffle doing it too. And sometimes they have information that I don't have. Like the one thing I've learned, I guess, in doing this is you can't be an expert on everything. You can have an opinion on everything, I suppose, but you can't be an expert on everything. And that's the real shame of life, I guess, sometimes. But yeah, like I like the live reaction format better than I did when I was doing it just videos, although the videos could be a lot shorter. So, and still not having just a car. I never actually tried it though. Oh, the car tires things. You never actually ate any car tires. All right. All right, folks. Well, speaking of all this food, I haven't had anything to eat yet today since I woke up. So I am going to call it a night. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I want to showcase Earl's latest art. I don't know if anybody found Fangs yet. He's in the picture. But thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate all the stuff tonight. In the final analysis, I think we've learned some things about Wes Huff that make me even more, not thinking very highly of him. Okay, but I'm trying to be nice, and it's not working. I'm losing words. But yes, but thanks everybody for stopping by tonight. I appreciate it all. Let's see, next week, fireside chat. Tuesday, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It'll be something that I haven't done yet. And then Wednesday, Bible study, Thursday, deconversion hangout, and we'll see what we're reacting to, or I may have a special guest. We'll find out week to week. But thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Appreciate all of you. May Fangs nibble on all of your hearts. May he look into your own eyes with his big, beautiful, infantile, godlet eyes and give you all kinds of warm fuzzies because that's what religion does. It gives you all kinds of warm fuzzies. Make sure you leave a circumcised carrot out for Fangs on top of your stash. It might save your stash. It might not, but it's worth a try. Kind of like, I guess, a lot of religious claims. Just worth a try, I guess. But make sure you do all those things. Make sure you wiggle your noses at your fellow fluffers, and go join the Fluffle Fangs Discord. You can go do that. But thanks, everybody, nom and all that. And as always, folks, live your best life. You only get one go around, and then it's over. So you want to take all your time, money, and opportunities and give them to yourself, the people you love and care for, and to make this a better world. You'll be happier if you do. And don't waste it on the wrappings of religion and faith. That's a dead end. I speak from experience. And I will see all of you on Monday at the Fireside Chat next week. So enjoy your weekend and have a great one. And I will see all of you next time. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end to find out how you can support the channel better. Of course, there's always the normal notions of just hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell, and share the video with your friends and family that you think would be interested. That's always very appreciated. If you want to support the channel in a more tangible way, there's several options. You can super chat or super thanks in the comments or during a stream. Those are always very welcome. But you also can become a member of the channel. Members have certain perks like getting the videos early, things like that. They also have some good custom emojis during chat. So all of these things are good benefits to members, but they also support this channel and its work to continue to normalize atheism and deconversion, for which I'm very appreciative. It keeps me going, and it keeps me as a content creator being able to do more and more as a content creator. So if you choose those methods of support, thank you very much. And I appreciate you once again for staying to the end and listening to other ways that you can support the channel. Appreciate it. Thanks, and I'll catch you next time.